This is Whether or Not.
All right, welcome into Whether or Not here on this Thursday, October 31st. It is Halloween. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
And I'm Meteorologist Andrew Dockery. This is going to be a fun show special. Brought out the wardrobe for you.
Wish you wouldn't have, but we're going to have a good time, no doubt. We got the set all decorated, but I feel like we're missing a little something.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the background. Let me see if we can fix this here.
All right, yeah, that's what we do.
There we go.
Kick it a couple times, and yeah, things work. We get the spooky going. But I feel like we need a little something else.
Oh, I got a perfect potion for it, a little spell, shall we? How about Cirrus Stratus Cumulus Catus? There we go.
Oh, wow. Can you do that and make it snow?
No.
That would be nice.
Otherwise, we would have nailed that forecast last year. But
Salem the Weather Cat going to be joining us here for the Halloween edition of Whether or Not. Let's jump right into it and what we're going to be talking about here today. And the top three things. Warm is the common theme. A very warm Halloween leading to a warm weekend, leading to a very warm start to November.
Yeah, warm, the common theme, and that translates into your trick-or-treat plans as we head into this evening. Temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s through the afternoon. And keep in mind, as we go toward those events this evening, we're going to stay in those mid-70s. Plenty of events happening. Of course, if your neighborhood doesn't go all out, well, don't worry, we'll have plenty at the Marsh Walk, Barefoot Landing, Broadway at the beach, Market Common as well. Listen, the Marsh Walk, they do it up there when it comes to Halloween.
Yeah, the Marsh Walk certainly for the big kids. I will be doing my live weather over at the Market Common for the hometown Halloween there at the Market Common coming up for this afternoon. So look forward to seeing all the little trick-or-treaters out there. Let's get past Halloween though and jump into the first weekend in November, and it's a nice one, and no surprises here, it's a warm one.
Yeah, we got a weak cold front to our northwest, and weak is the key word. Kind of a delayed onset of some of the cooler temperatures. Still not bad on Sunday, but cold front and fall should be bringing 60s, not lower 70s.
Yeah, cool front at best. Certainly not
term.
a cold front, maybe a cool front. As you mentioned, will come down 2 to 4 degrees for those high temperatures heading into Sunday. All the while, though, it is sunny and it is dry, but that warm theme not going anywhere as we jump into the start of November. In fact, we'll reverse that trend and go back up. How about some more 80-degree warmth heading into next week?
And here's the thing, we're talking dry weather across the region. Next rain chances to come in potentially till the end of next week with once again another cool front, if you will. But yeah, 70s and even inland areas in the 80s as we go into that forecast.
Yeah, let's take you out of the Carolinas now. We'll go coast to coast. And there is some active weather. Look at that snow up there across Minnesota and Wisconsin. They're going to be having a white Halloween. Pretty decent snow coming down from Minneapolis to near Green Bay. And then you can see some active weather extending from Kentucky down through Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. That's where kind of the spookiest weather is. But notice the Carolinas are quiet and most of the western 2/3 of the U.S. are quiet as well. Let's check out those temperatures, including right here in Halloween, also known as Conway, the other 11 months of the year, looking at 71 for those trick-or-treat temperatures.
How about these names? Kudos to you. School Creek, 59 degrees there. As you go into Nebraska, Frankenstein, 59 degrees. And you go up to Casper, Wyoming, 52 as we go through it. And why not look back maybe at some of the spookiest systems that have moved through
this is
Halloween.
What's kind of crazy. Some of the wildest weather that you can think of has actually happened on Halloween. We've got a big list here of some of the craziest and scariest Halloween weather that you could think of. We're going to start right here in our own backyard, the Halloween hurricane of 1899. Now, this hurricane formed in the Caribbean, worked its way towards a landfall in Cuba on October 29th, then strengthened a little bit more into a Category 2 hurricane with winds 110 miles per hour as it moved over Grand Bahama in the Bahamas. That was on October 30th with 110 mile per hour winds. And finally, a landfall right in Horry County in between Myrtle Beach and Garden City on Halloween of 1899 with 105 mile per hour winds. Obviously, there wasn't a lot here at the time, but looking back at the records, it was likely a pretty big hurricane. An 8-foot storm surge up by Wrightsville Beach. 11 ships either sank or ran aground. New Bern, Morehead City, all experiencing coastal flooding and storm surge from that 1899 hurricane, latest hurricane ever to hit the state of South Carolina.
How about that, too?
Can you imagine a hurricane on Halloween?
No, I couldn't, especially with landfall right here in our home. Let's go 2 years later, shall we? The perfect storm of 1991. It just sounds spooky and eerie.
It does. The perfect storm, and boy, talk about a wild one. This is pretty crazy. This, of course, is the storm that inspired the movie, The Perfect Storm. It was a big nor'easter that developed. What made this one really crazy is that big nor'easter actually basically gobbled up nearby Hurricane Grace. They both came together and produced a tremendous nor'easter on October 30th and 31st, 1991. A couple of fatalities. Yeah, definitely a nasty one. In fact, a 100-foot wave measured by a buoy off the coast of Nova Scotia. 40-foot waves were measured off of Cape Cod. That 100-foot wave is a record for that area.
I just learned something new right there. Nova Scotia, 100-foot wave, 40 feet, Cape Cod. That's crazy. 100 homes damaged near Cape Cod as well. Imagine, too, when you have those two systems coming together to create the perfect storm. Let's take you up to the nor'easter. 2011 Halloween. This would be the perfect treat, if you will, when it comes to the forecast. Snow all across the Northeast. Look at some of these totals.
I wouldn't hate a white Halloween yet. This was a really wild storm. Peak snowfall by state, Massachusetts, look at that, coming in with almost 3 feet of snow. That was back towards Worcester, Mass. New Hampshire, 31 inches. Parts of Connecticut, 2 feet of snow. 21 inches in New York City. And speaking of New York City, 1,000 trees fell in Central Park in New York City from that storm because, well, late October, there's still leaves on the trees. Central Park ended up with a couple of inches of heavy wet snow. That brought down all of those trees. In addition, there were also 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts on the coast. By the time all was said and done, 3.2 million people up there were without power, and it canceled trick-or-treating for a lot of New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. You can see there all the heavy snow on the leaves on the trees, and that is what causes those big issues.
I have FOMO right now. Fear of missing out. This
well,
is
except for the limbs falling.
Well, I'm just talking about the snow. Well, that view, the snow right there is exactly, wow, what a crazy system there. And then, of course, we'll stay as we go and continue here into the Northeast. One that I'm sure a lot of people remember as we talk about. It has a name, Superstorm Sandy. Superstorm
Sandy. Initially, when it was just forming, I remember the buzzword around the meteorology community was Frankenstorm. It was called Frankenstorm for a minute, and then it got Hurricane Sandy and then sort of renamed into Superstorm Sandy. But yeah, just an absolute benchmark storm there for the Northeast and New England. Just incredible stats here. New Jersey, 43 fatalities with record storm surge, nearly 3 million without power. Half the city of Hoboken was flooded. Atlantic City Boardwalk, you will all remember the pictures and the videos of the roller coaster there, sitting basically in the Atlantic Ocean after the storm surge from Sandy.
It's crazy to think, too, this is 1 year, so 1 year difference.
Yeah.
2011, you have basically the blizzard.
Yep.
And then now you have 2012 Sandy. 1 year later, where trick-or-treat plans had to be canceled, postponed, moved up there in the Northeast.
And the thing about Sandy, it was very large and it was also very widespread, and it also interacted with some really cold air. We had snowfall totals in parts of West Virginia and western North Carolina up to 36 inches. Wolf Laurel Mountain, North Carolina, 36 inches of snow from what was Hurricane Sandy.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call it. That right there was my favorite segment we've ever done on Weather or Not.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. Definitely some wild stuff for sure.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do some more of that spooky weather?
Let's talk about it. We've got Jenna Greenhill. She continues our countdown of the spookiest Halloween weather.
Shelf clouds give a really cool picture, and they also give you that spooky feeling. Shelf clouds all start from a downdraft where rain-cooled air rushes out of the cloud, and as it does so, then warm air lifts and condenses in front of that line of thunderstorms, which is how a shelf cloud forms. Shelf clouds start with some wind. You'll start to see the wind first, And then following the wind, that's when you'll pick up on those thunderstorms, and even hail can be seen from shelf clouds. Definitely gives you that spooky feeling knowing some storms are on their way. For Weather or Not, I'm meteorologist Jenna Greenhill.
And you know, I do love a shelfie.
I was going to say, Shelfie watch, Shelfie warning.
Yeah.
You typically post those on social media as well. You want to know one thing I don't like?
I think it's haunted houses.
Yeah, if you have missed it, we've been kind of teasing at this for a little bit. You got me good for
I'm
the
a
Halloween
prankster,
season.
and I love Halloween. This one said he hates haunted houses, so my little brain said, I got to get Andrew into a haunted house.
Yeah, take a look.
Why are we doing this?
Oh, this whole experience was just, remember this? Grabbing the lamp just to get
Yep,
some light.
yep.
We went over to the Theater of the Republic in Conway. Jamie tricked me thinking this was a dining with Dockery, and I knew something was up once I arrived, and I didn't see any food. The entire clip of this, with us going through the haunted house, you can watch it right now on WNBFnews.com. Grand Strand Today debuted it. That one, that scare right there, I know it's coming, is one of the worst. Yep, that's me screaming like a complete maniac.
And there's also a segment where you actually fall.
Yeah,
because you are so scared. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's a full 5 minutes that you will not want to miss.
5 minutes of laughter, 5 minutes of embarrassment, whichever way you look at it. Let's go to our See It, Snap It, Send It. And as we do so, let's showcase some of the Halloween decorations. Of course, we have Halloween South Carolina, but how about here from Heather? You have everything. I love the skeletons and how tall they are. Not to mention, too, all the decorations on the ground, the lights from the house.
You know, I love good lighting.
That's
love good lighting. So yeah,
spooky,
Heather Stanton
perfect
coming in
lighting.
with that one. Let's take you to our next one. See It, Snap It, Send It. And again, it's more spookiness. This one coming in from Amy Angel. And I've said this a couple times before. I love Halloween people. I love people who go this crazy for Halloween. I am all about it. Give me all the bones and the spooky pumpkins and the lights and the ghosts and the critters. I'm there for it.
I love the season and I hate the scares. I think you'll be able to tell
Well,
that
you
by
just
the
got to
end
make it
of-
through the rest of the day today, and then it's your time.
And then it's Christmas starting tomorrow. Let's go ahead and tell you that if you want to send us a photo of maybe your Halloween decorations or how you're preparing for the holidays, any photos of weather, yeah, just scan the QR code. It will take you to our First Alert weather app. And once again, see it, snap it, send it. You never know. You might see it here on Weather or Not.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to wrap it up here for this Halloween Thursday. Tomorrow we're kicking off the month of November. We're going to be taking a look at where the hurricane season has led us so far as we get set to head into the final month of hurricane season. I hear a
Love
little bit
the
of spooky
music.
music, so I think that's our cue to wrap the show up and go do some trick-or-treating. What do you say?
All right, I love it. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching Weather or Not.